Founder and CEO of a global healthcare IT consultancy, he has led complex multi-million-dollar projects that empowered hospitals, ministries, and global medtech companies to embrace 21st century healthcare innovation. His leadership journey includes senior roles such as Territory Manager for BD at Becton Dickinson and Hospira at Pfizer, where he directed business growth across EMEA in medical device technologies and healthcare IT. He achieved significant revenue growth through strategic partnerships while championing the introduction of infusion technologies that enhance patient safety and clinical efficiency. Earlier, as Global Manager at CSC Technology, he oversaw the deployment of Lorenzo EPR across multiple NHS trusts, managing testing, cut-over, and data migration on national scale projects. Indeed, ladies and gentlemen, if I'll have to read, there is a tall one for me to read out to you. However, let me conclude by indicating that our chair's career reflects a consistent commitment to empowering doctors for the provision of healthcare in the 21st century through innovative medical education and technology. He is now poised to continue driving healthcare transformation at senior level leadership, helping organizations harness innovation to improve patient outcomes and system efficiency. With a warm round of applause, please help me welcome our guest speaker, CEO of HealthTech Ghana Limited, Mr. Daniel Morkla.
Thank you very much, Mr. That was very kind of you. Sometimes when you go to a place and introduce you like that, kind of think, is that me you're talking about? It is. Professor Chairman, Professor Dennis Manuel Ahito, represented here by Professor Anochi Provost of Court, Professor Sebastian Ellison, Dean of the School of Medical Science, University of Cape Coast, the Regional Director of Health Services, Central Region, the Regional Minister of Central Region, members of faculty, School of Medical Science, University of Cape Coast, Deans represented here, CEO of Cape Coast Teaching Hospital, Dr. Jenu, one of the domains of health management in Ghana. Dear students of the School of Medical Sciences here in Ghana for this special occasion, friends and family of our dear white medical students, management and staff of HealthTech Ghana Limited, distinguished invited guests, friends from the media, ladies and gentlemen. It is a great privilege to join you here this morning. Professor Chairman, distinguished guests, over the years, particularly within the last couple of decades, the world has become much smaller and more close-knit platform, thanks to largely the power of modern technology, including artificial intelligence, AI, and augmented reality. So augmented reality is a layover on virtual reality. We are at the point where in medical education, you can wear a VR first, and you can imagine yourself being in theater or a cath lab, which simulates all the normal things you see in, say, National Thoracic Center's cath lab or UGNC or any of the cath labs in Africa. You can actually sit at the UCC Medical School and actually see live procedures being done, and you can even ask questions of the surgeons and the team doing it in real time. This is where medicine is going. There are only 3 professions in the world. You've got a healer, a doctor. But the first profession is the priest, and which one? The next one is a lawyer. Apparently, the rest of all of us, apart from these 3 professions, are just doing jobs. And among the 3 of them, we are told that medicine or doctor is the most noblest. So to even get to UCC Medical School, you need to be a sharp, of course. You need to get straight A's. You need to have a passion for medicine and to help your fellow human being. So there's a lot of work to be done to get this far, but there's more to come. Indeed, throughout the history of medicine, from the ancient through to the classical era to the medieval periods and the Renaissance, 19th century revolution and modern medicine, innovation and new technologies have always driven the evolution of healing from ancient times to present. From herbal medicine through to anatomical breakthrough, innovative techniques in surgery, the discovery of penicillin, anesthesia, gene therapy, ultrasound, X-ray, CT, or computerized tomography, MRI technology, and more. The profession has shown resilience and determination to be innovative in patient care and to bring healing and relief to patients. As mankind continues to push the boundaries of technology, especially in AI global digital economy, it is even more imperative that medical profession marches in tandem, leveraging on this to bring cutting-edge technologies to the advancement of medical care. Just to draw on even coming back to home to Ghana, to draw on some of the experiences I've seen. So we work with hospitals like Prof. Janus, Campus Teaching Hospital, Kolebu, UGMC, Kofanochi, Tamale Teaching, and all the regional and district hospitals, or municipal hospitals. And technology has a big role to play. So let me take an example with Tech7. So with Tech7, our company have a collaboration where they have the patients and we have the equipment. We have the MRI, and the CTs, and X-rays. Now, when a patient is sick or is rushed to Tech7 trauma center, and the doctor makes a decision that this person needs an X-ray or a CT or an MRI, they come to radiology 24/7. We take images of the affected body parts. Immediately the images are taken. Within a matter of minutes, we have an interim preliminary report. In some cases, the doctor at trauma or accident center just want to know in the brain, is it blood or is it just fluid? Because if it's blood, there's a treatment option. If it's fluid, there's another treatment option. By just knowing that they can make a clinical decision. Sometimes the radiologist is at home at night, 1 a.m. sleeping. Can't be working 24 hours. So we are using AI to automatically generate the reports. And AI will pick up things that normally maybe a radiologist may not necessarily be. So I don't think AI is saying it's a replacement for human expertise, but we need to harness it for the betterment of our job and our people. So a radiologist will look at the interim report. They also go in and have their own view and then combine and basically force them to super check and make sure everything is covered so that we don't miss anything. That is how far the environment that you're going to be working in is going to be. My advice is that please don't fight it, embrace it and own it so you can control it. Don't think this is going to do me out of a job. In the British history, the Industrial Revolution, they have the Luddites who went around burning factories because they felt their jobs were at stake. And the job, the technology with the effect of engines actually employed more people than before. So I think we need to look at it as medical profession, to own it and to get involved in it, to understand it, to shape it. But don't say, I don't like technology, or let me get the nurse to do this for me. So that is the side advice for here to the now even clinical practice. It is for this reason I'm delighted to know that the theme of this year's White Coat ceremony is empowering doctors for the provision of healthcare in the 21st century through innovative medical education. I think I've worked with your university, our university, with your dean. UCC, through HealthTech Ghana, I think, checked, is the only university in West Africa to have the SIGMAN 3G, which is a robotic manual for medical training. So, I'd like to congratulate the university on this. And since UCC, we came and installed and trained them, now other universities are actually seen as wanting to catch up with UCC Medical School Simulation Center. So you're already doing great. So you've been exposed to some of it, I'm sure, with your SIGMAN 3G and other simulators and mannequins that HealthTech Ghana sourced for the UCCSMS. Professor Chairman, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, with your kind indulgence, I would like to share my personal story, which has brought me this far today, and which hopefully provides some context to the important conversation that drives this theme for today. As I said earlier, I graduated from UCC in 2003 with a BSc in agriculture, special interest in animal husbandry and veterinary. I've been inspired by in my earlier years by a neighbor who was a veterinary doctor in Sweden where I grew up. For those of you who know Sweden, it's around the catering resource area. Dr. Paul seemed to have a talent for bringing relief to animals without necessarily communicating. Animal, you can't ask questions, just like pediatricians. When you have a neonatal baby, you can't ask questions how you feel, but you still have to treat them. You need to understand what it takes to do that. So, in my graduate years, I became, whilst at UCC, I became fascinated with IT and computers. And eventually, after graduation, I enrolled for a master's degree in information communication technology at the University of Manchester, with special interest in relational databases and business analytics and business intelligence for the UK NHS. In fact, I went to the University of Manchester and I ended up working at the University of Manchester University Hospital, the teaching hospital. This set me on a path of working in technological solutions in healthcare. Before that, I've really never worked before, because you are in school, you finish, you have to go, you decide you want to go and do IT. I never worked. So it was an interesting way to transition from Ghana to the UK and to understand some of the things that they were using, which my only experience in the hospital before I went was at Kofanachit, where I have friends who were doctors and nurses that I used to visit. Apart from that, I have no clue what it is, what happens in the hospital in terms of IT. So for over 21 years, I built various skill sets in healthcare IT and medical device integration in Europe. So I was head of EMEA for an American company called Hospira. So I was head of Europe, Middle East, and Africa. Later on, I became global head of technology for American medtech giant BD Becton Dickinson. In fact, from there I transitioned to be the boss of Becton Dickinson in West Africa, where I later left to found HealthTech as a private company. So my group was focused on medical technology, product management, and device integration, and of course the sales and marketing of these equipments and electronic patients record system. I know in Ghana we have the LIMS at the moment introduced by the Ministry of Health across Ghana healthcare system, but the other good software made and developed by Ghanaians like Health Pro, which is used at 37 UGMC, State Hospital, and other hospitals across the country. So technology, you're going to be working in technology. The environment in which our forebears trained you or professors is going to be quite different from what you are going into, because you are at a point where Ghana is transitioning even in the healthcare system into more IT-based medical practice, so that you have all your patients' records and the information you need at one point, 360-degree view of your patient's information, so you have all the information to make your clinical decisions. In a way, it is a good thing because it protects you. And nowadays, patient rights advocates are quite strong with medical legal issues and all that. So when you use or embrace these technologies, if there's an error, you can use the evidence to interpret yourself. Equally, if you also don't follow the protocols of your hospitals, then you'll be found out. So it is a line that cuts both ways. But my advice to fourth year going into clinical practice is to embrace it rather than to shun it or reject it. It's something the nurses can do for us. Even for your own research, you need to understand how you use it. It's very important. And it was a fulfilling role, working globally, traveling on first class, business class and all that. But to me, at some point, I wanted to come back home. So one of my mentors, who was my former manager, Christine Adams, British lady, was my mentor, so I had a very open and honest, transparent discussion with her. And I advice she gave me was, Danny, the UK NHS can live without your skill set. They have loads of people who can do what you are doing. But perhaps your country, Ghana, do not have a lot of people like you. So I would advise that with the skills and knowledge you have, you go back and help build your own country healthcare system. And that was the reason why we found I came over, transitioned to a lower role as the West African head, and then decided to resign to take on HealthTech. Now, one of the reasons why I'm sharing this personal story with you is that in this life, we all don't know everything, but sometimes we have lofty ambitions and visions. But whatever your vision is, if you believe in your vision, you have the motivation and the passion, please follow it through. Listen to advice by all means, because you don't hold a monopoly on wisdom and experience. But if you are convinced and you've done your research, then you are sure of what you want to do. Don't let naysayers beat you down. Sometimes when I decided to come back home, you have people saying, Danny, you have this good job, amazing job. Why give it all up? Controlling an R&D budget of over $2 billion. Why give it all up to come to Africa, where the whole BB revenue for the whole of Africa is about 200 million? So it's just counter-interact. Why would you take a decision? Some of them thought maybe I was in my mid-age crisis, and I listened. I was cautious, and I know doing business in Ghana is not straightforward. There are peaks and troughs, pitfalls, even the politics of it. So, I took gravy and cake. In fact, when I was cooking, I bought a one-way ticket because I didn't want to have an option of a return ticket. In case things go wrong, usually the first default position to go back, right? I didn't do that, so I bought a one-way ticket to come. And sometimes I think you need to take that. There is a famous British king called William the Conqueror. He went to all-in France, then called the Normandy, to raise army to come to Britain to take over Britain. When he crossed the English Channel from France, that time called Normandy, to the shores of Dover, in sort of east of England, they had about 2,000 ships. The best way he motivated his soldiers, he called an assembly and said, look, this war that we are coming can only end one way. Either win or they will kill us. And if they kill us, we wouldn't need a boat to go back to France. So the best motivation he did was to burn all the ships. So they have only one mission, that is to win. So I'm actually indulging you and inviting you to be your own William the Conqueror in your own lives, in your medical career. Sometimes you have to take a stand and you have to believe in your own conviction. People will beat you down. Yes, listen, don't ignore it because you can learn from it. And even if you fail, you learn from it. Because going to the hospital, we are all human, we will make mistakes. It is not avoidance of mistakes, but it's about learning from the mistakes and listening to your trainers, your professors, and your experienced staff training you at the hospitals.